South Carolina's texting and driving law is a little over a year old. We asked Highway Patrol how they're enforcing it. The number of tickets they've handed out is coming up in a live report. Gerald tells me this plane acts as a sort of time machine for veterans. When they're in it, it takes them right back to their days at war. The atmosphere is fantastic. Fans are obviously very excited that it's race day, very happy that race day is back on Labor Day weekend where they say it belongs, to keep with tradition. I just spoke with Mayor Bobby Davis, who says it speaks to the people of Marion that they're here braving the heat until Senator Pinckney gets here. You can see everybody behind me really trying to get a good look. It is under the green tent and people are packed in really closely. But just as planned, everybody was lining the streets waving their flags, and right back at them, friends and family in the processional were waving at everybody who is standing there waiting for them. One of the people who made a 911 call to report the shots did talk to us earlier. He said his mother lives on this street and he fears for her safety in this neighborhood. They say tourists are critical for their success, so the record-breaking numbers are encouraging. But there's still room for more improvement, and everyone's working hard to make sure tourists return. Horry County officials say most of the difficulty comes from out-of-state residents who don't leave sufficient billing information when they use EMS services while they're here. Flag placements like the one here today take place in national cemeteries across the country every year. It's a way of acknowledging the soldiers who might not have heard a thank you before they died. The spokesperson also told me that they will look at all of those moving parts and see what needs to be adjusted. Live in Myrtle Beach, Jordan Schuman, ABC 15 News. Corporal Collins says hopefully as more time goes by, more people will become familiar with the law, and hopefully that will mean putting their cell phones down and focusing on the roads. Live in Horry County, Jordan Schuman, ABC 15 News. Lady Antebellum just finished here about 15 minutes ago, and before that, Hunter Hayes performed at 8 o'clock. He met a very special festival goer today who got a surprise she definitely didn't expect and definitely won't forget. Savannah's a local celebrity in a sea of country stars in Myrtle Beach today. She has supravalvular aortic stenosis. She was just 4 when she had her first heart surgery that triggered a month-long coma and left significant brain trauma. At 19, her fighting spirit is what led her here, to the surprise of a lifetime. Hunter Hayes and the Carolina Country Music Fest would like to invite you to meet Hunter Hayes today. Is that something you want to do? Yeah? Oh. So we made our way to his tour bus, where she had one important question to ask.
You got a girlfriend?
You want to know if he has a girlfriend?
Yeah.
And she didn't waste any time.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Yes, yeah.
Even though that was an initial disappointment to her, Hunter redeemed himself through song.
Your name, be a good tattoo. You nailed it. I love it.
But there was more in store for Savannah.
And on behalf of the Carolina Country Music Fest, the folks here tonight, we want to present this check to Mayor and Savannah for $10,000.
She accepted a check for $10,000 from festival goers who donated online for her charity, Savannah's Playground. And she stole the spotlight on the final night of the Carolina Country Music Fest. That money will help Savannah's Playground build an all-inclusive playground right here in Myrtle Beach, so definitely a special day for her. Among the hundreds of people waiting in line Wednesday for a public viewing of Senator Clementa Pinckney were parents trying to help their children make sense of it all.
Being a parent, you don't always have the right words to say, or you feel like you don't have adequate words. So I decided the best thing for me and her was to come out here today.
Gerald drove an hour and a half so his 9-year-old daughter could see in person what she's been seeing on the news.
She's going to read in the history book one day, and then she can reflect, hey, I can remember I was 9 years old, my dad brought me to the State House.
And he wasn't the only parent to do it.
This is monumental, and I don't want this opportunity to pass without them having the opportunity to witness this history.
In a time of reflection and grief for so many in South Carolina, a conversation is starting in families like Wiley's, one about empathy and history.
I'm experiencing something like he said, something I can pass on and on in generations and generations on.
And like so many others she waited in line with, Rhonda is one mom searching for a lesson within a loss.
The main thing that my husband and I have been trying to teach them is that you love people for who they are and not for what they look like.
And that a line outside the State House was a very good place to start. In Columbia, Jordan Schuman, ABC 15 News.